Hey, the gospel, it's great, isn't it? Don't you love the gospel? Aren't you glad that we've got the gospel because it's really great and we hear it a lot? Furthermore, I seem to be noticing that we talk about how great the gospel is without sharing what the gospel is. We talk a lot about, wow, the gospel, it's really great, and we're gospel people, and we get to be completely forgiven Christian gospel people. What is the gospel? Please, if you're going to talk about how wonderful the gospel is, and we should, would you please tell me what the gospel is? Remind me about my sinful, wicked nature. Remind me about God's holy nature. Remind me about God's right response to sin, and that He's prepared a place called hell, and that's exactly what I deserve, not to mention temporal punishment too. Remind me that Jesus Christ, the second person of the Trinitarian Godhead, came to this earth, took on human flesh so that He could represent us, so that He could die for us on our behalf. He who knew no sin became sin that we might become the righteousness of God. Tell me that He rose from the dead and that He ascended into heaven and He's coming back again. Wow, can't wait for that, to judge the world in righteousness. And because I have been hidden in the cleft, the rock, Jesus Christ, I don't have to fear that judgment at all. More than that, I can look forward to everlasting life and forever plumbing the depths of the goodness of God as we rightly enjoy all of the wonderful things that He has created for us to enjoy forever, with Him in the center of it. Please, if you're going to tell me how wonderful the gospel is, tell me what the gospel is, and don't just use cliches and just drive by it. It doesn't ultimately make my heart soar. If you happen to be in the gospel-centered movement, I would simply ask you to do a little accounting on yourself. Are you studying the other attributes of God? Do you study about the other members of the Trinity besides Jesus? Do you study the love of the Father? Do you study pneumatology, Holy Spirit theology? Do you study the glorious truths about ecclesiology? That's right, the theology of the church and how wonderful that is. And that we are a bride that has been prepared for Jesus Christ, the bridegroom, that one day we will be handed over to Him from the Father to say, here is your bridal gift, here is your wedding gift. And Jesus is going to turn us back over to the Father and say, nope, this is for you, that you might be all in all. There are so many other ologies that we could be studying. Not that we ever leave the cross, we don't graduate from it and move on, but all of those theologies should bring us back to the cross so that we appreciate it more.